Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Geiger, and up here today, guys. I thought I would share with you something that I'm working on. Before I get into that, I just want to share with you what I've been playing recently. I've been playing some more House Flipper, as always. I've been playing a little bit of it. I've got to say that I still enjoy the game. However, now to me, I'm sort of getting to that point now where I've sort of got over the whole wow factor at first, and now it's not. I'm not saying it's monotonous. It is monotonous in a way, but at the same time, I'm kind of at that point now where I'm like, this is going to be a game that I'm going to play if I'm in the mood to play it. And that happens quite often with some games. I'll play a game, and at first I'll be like, wow, this is amazing. The whole first hit factor, when you first do something, it's new to you, it's pretty cool. And then you play it for a few times, and then afterwards you sort of go, well, am I either going to continue this, or am I just going to, play it if and so? And I think I'm doing that with House Flipper now. It's come to that point now where I'm like, if and so. I've also been playing a little bit of WWE 2K20, and I'm going to be honest with you, with wrestling games nowadays, I used to play the campaigns all the time as a kid, and I used to do all the story modes and try and unlock everything. But now I don't really do that. For me now, when I play a wrestling game like this, I tend to just do the universe mode, which is the mode where you have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT and all that stuff, and you just play it out and you create your own like world and universe and story. So I have been playing a little bit of universe mode. I did try out the originals mode, and it is a pretty cool concept, but at the same time, all it really is just like crazy looking characters, variants of characters with crazy costumes and some pretty cool like ring design. But underneath all of that is just a simple challenge mode where you just have to do a certain amount of things. Um, and it's annoying because my biggest issue that I have with this is that the Fiend is an unlockable character through that challenge mode, Bump in the Night. And to me, that is really annoying because I know technically when this game was like in development, probably Bray Wyatt wasn't really the Fiend yet. But it still would have been nice to have the Fiend as a downloadable character for free or something like that. And that's the biggest gripe I have at the moment with this game, is that the Fiend is classed as one of these originals, when in reality the Fiend should just been either a DLC character or something. There might be a way to buy all of the characters, or like in the old wrestling games, you could pay money to unlock everything. So you might be able to do that. Let me know in the comments below. Can you do that? But um, I've got to say that, to be honest, I've played it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really see too much difference between this and 19 in terms of gameplay. There is a few different things in there, like the mixed tag team match is pretty cool, and there is obviously, this is a game that obviously I'll play if and when. So if I'm in the mood for it. And I'm going to be honest with you, with Universe, I tend to just do Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views because I don't watch NXT. I have got loads of NXTs recorded, I just haven't got around to watching them yet. I tend not to do NXT or 205 Live. I know I could just take them off and move the characters from those shows onto the main shows, but I just simulate them because you never know if they're going to come on. But yeah, it's not too bad. I can see what, when the game first came out, it had all these issues. It was very glitchy and stuff. But to be honest, I played it and it's not that bad. It's much like 19, to be honest, with some extras in there. Obviously, me and my friend beat Saints Row 3 remastered, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed with Saints Row 3 remastered. It's not that I don't like Saints Row 3, I love Saints Row 3 or Saints Row the 3rd. Saints Row 3, in my opinion, is often overlooked in the series. It's either 2 or 4 most people talk about. Because 4 being the most crazy one and 2 being obviously the most memorable one. I like Saints Row 3, but the biggest issue I had with it is this remastered version didn't actually do too much for the series. Yes, you got all of the DLC included, but you could have got that DLC if you bought the Saints Row the Third full package game on Xbox 360, which is much cheaper than Saints Row 3 Remastered. The graphics, yeah, they have updated the graphics and the sound slightly, but I wouldn't go as far to say that it looks good, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like I'm playing anything different. If you were just playing Saints Row 3 and then you played the remastered version, you might be able to tell some differences side by side. But there are a few annoying things in there. The first issue I had was it was crashing all of the time me and my friend were playing it. His game would crash, my game would crash. Now, it could be because I had a digital version on the Xbox One. There might have been a bit of corruption there. It could be the Xbox One version. Maybe I'll get the disc version for PS4 one day and see. It might have been because we're playing online. I don't know, but it was crashing a hell of a lot of times. And I don't remember any other Saints Row game crashing that much. I mean, we did have some crashing issues years ago with Saints Row 2, but that was understandable considering it was an Xbox 360 game and it was a much older game. But this was a new game that was released a couple of weeks ago, so you would have thought they would have made it a lot more stable. Again, this could just been an issue that I was having, but my friend was also having it as well. And, you know, we were playing it digital and on the Xbox One, so if anyone else had those issues, let me know in the comments below if you've had those issues as well, and even if you had those issues on any other system. It was a fun game to go back to. I was a little bit disappointed with the DLCs, because I'm going to be honest with you, all they really were was the Gangsters in Space one was, or the Saints in Space one, there wasn't nothing more than just, you know, the first part was alright when you go through the ship and you fight the aliens, I guess, wasn't too bad. I was a bit disappointed that you couldn't actually get those weapons later on in the game either. You know, those blaster pistols, blaster rifles, and that. It was annoying that they put them in the game, but you couldn't actually get that version of that weapon. You could get the hover bike and the ship, but you couldn't get the weapons. And the other one, what was the other one? There was two. Oh yeah, the one with Johnny Gat, well, the clone Johnny Gat, wasn't all that great either. The Genki Bowl one, all it does is add a couple of Genki missions, and I do like the Genki activities. They can be quite fun. They're challenging for sure, yeah. But all in all, I just felt like there was a few things they could have changed with the game. One of the biggest issues I was having is in some of the activities, like Mayhem, for example, when you get the combo timer, normally that counts as a timer. And in that game, for some reason, we still had the timer went down, but we still had the combo, but it still said we failed the mission. But then when we were doing Tank Mayhem, the combo timer was staying on. So it's just a few things that, you know, they could have added, that was in Saints Row 4, that was better than Saints Row 3, that they changed just a few things here and there. They could have just updated a few things and maybe added some extra stuff that wasn't in the original version with the DLC, some new costumes, weapons and stuff. But all in all, I did enjoy it. It was a bit frustrating at times. Is it worth the £30 or £40 or whatever they're charging for it? If you've never played Saints Row 3, then yeah, that's probably the best version, the best looking version, and you get all the DLC and stuff. But if you've already played it, I'm going to be honest with you, it's nothing more than just going back and playing a game that you played before and just paying more money for, to be honest. I don't think it's worth the extra money. It's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't feel like after I beat it, it would... I mean, we got some game time out of it, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like they could have done a little bit more to make it more appealing, just added a few extra stuff. All it really feels like to me is an updated port. It doesn't feel like a new game at all. You know, it's not meant to be a new game, it's a remaster, but it would have been nice if they added a few extra things into it. You know, kind of like what they did with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remaster. You know, they did in the normal campaign, they kept it quite similar, but in the multiplayer, they added some new weapons and new modes and stuff that weren't in the original game. Just something like that would have been nice. So what? So yeah, I've been doing a bit of thinking recently, and I'm coming back to focusing on a collection. And the collection I'm going to be focusing on is PlayStation 4. Now, I recently did a collection guide for PlayStation 4, and I said how good the PlayStation 4 was for collecting games. And what I did is I found a link on the website, on the internet, with pretty much all of the physical games that have been released for PlayStation 4. Now, it was about a year behind, so obviously there are some games that weren't on there. And what I did is I added all of them that I don't have into my Amazon wish list. Now, I know that Amazon isn't the cheapest option for some of these games. So when I go to buy that particular game, I will compare it with like CEX and maybe eBay if I'm thinking twice. Of course, there were a bunch of games like limited run games that weren't available that I'd have to go away and try and find somewhere else. They're a bit more expensive, and I'm kind of in two minds whether I do want to try and go for those rare and limited games, because they're a bit expensive, and to be honest, sometimes, although as a collector I'd love to have them, but for a game that was being sold for £30-40 at first and now is being sold for triple that price sometimes, for, you know, a digital only game or something, unless that game is going to be worth my money and worth my time, paying 70 quid or something for, or £100 for you know, an indie title, is it going to be worth my money? And obviously it's something that I'm just thinking of, so I may buy a couple here and there, but whether or not the price is right. Of course, there are games that obviously I was avoiding at first with the PlayStation 4, and that was games like sports games, music games, peripheral-based games, fishing games, stuff that I wouldn't actually play. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do what I'm doing with the PlayStation 2, and that is try and get everything. There's about 1,800, 1,900 PlayStation 4 games been released physical, give or take. Maybe less than that now. It's about 1,800, I guess. And it is a doable collection. It's not impossible. It's maybe like a 3.5 stars out of 5 difficulty level, maybe a 4. And I've actually ordered some stuff off Amazon. Ordered some stuff. I ordered 2 FIFA games. I ordered FIFA 14 and FIFA 15 from CEX because they were 50p each. I was a bit annoyed though because they charged me 2 separate delivery prices, which was kind of annoying. You know, you'd think if you were buying from the same website, you know, CEX, that's something, you know, if you were paying from CEX, you'd think that when you buy online, you know, you would have to only pay 1 set of delivery, but for some reason it was paying 2 separate deliveries, and I think the reason for that is because the games are cheap. I think any game that is like under like £5 or something, they will charge separate delivery for, just to try and get some money up. So just be aware of doing that. So yeah, I just bought FIFA 14 and 15. I was going to get all FIFA 14 to 18, but because they were charging £1.95 per game, I thought I am paying, you know, 10, 50, £12 for 4 FIFA games when I can get them for 50p. I know I could go into CX and buy them directly from the shop for 50p, but at the same time, with what's going on in the world and things, I don't know if that's going to be a feasible option. And yeah, to be honest, it's not. Chances are I won't buy it, play them. They'll be for collection purposes only. I was going to buy them off Amazon because they were selling some sealed ones. So I might buy a couple of sealed ones off Amazon. It's just that FIFA 14 on Amazon was like £15-20, and I thought, I ain't paying £20 for a FIFA 14, you know, when I can pay 50p. So yeah, it's just going to be a collection game. And I also ordered Zone of the End, the second run, and Mars from Amazon, which is a remake, I believe, of the PlayStation 2 Zone of Enders 2 game, but also it has a VR mode on there where you can play the whole game in VR. It is technically classed as a VR game, but because it has the normal game on there as well, it was only like £6.90, so I thought, it's not bad, £6.95 and it's new, it's sealed, so I wasn't complaining too much there. And it's a pretty good game, I've heard. Will I play it on the VR? Maybe. I might try it out on VR. And I also ordered a game called Achino Blade 2, or Archino Blade 2, I think it's called. Never heard of it. When I was going through this list, there was just so many games on there that I'd never heard of. So I think it's like a puzzle platformer / hack and slash game. It looked pretty cool. It had mediocre reviews, I heard. And it was only like £11, and I think it was brand new as well. So, you know, when I'm buying a game brand new for under £15, whether I like the game or not, it's still not a bad deal for collection purposes, obviously. And yeah, it's got me to thinking, you know, obviously I'm going to have to sort out this bookcase to make room for the PlayStation 4 games. And it's got me thinking about how I'm going to go about doing this, because it is easy for me to just buy them all off Amazon or online. It's not a problem. Obviously, if and when I get money and stuff. But of course, you know, it's also got to bear in mind that I have to work on getting these games in my own time, of course. And I'd love to be able to go out and buy the games in the game shop, go shopping and things like usual. When I'm going to be able to do that, I'm not sure. Maybe this time next month, could be next year, who knows. But why have I decided to go for a full set for PlayStation 4, and what am I doing with the PlayStation 4? So when I say I'm going for a full set, what exceptions am I going to make? Well, like I said, the limited run games, I'd love to have them. However, if they are a little bit more expensive, now there are some previous limited run games that are, which are obviously the harder ones to get now, the ones that you're going to have to go through Amazon and eBay to buy. You'll never find them in the wild. You'd be lucky if you do. And because a lot of limited run games are American, obviously, you have to go through online and play Asia and stuff like that. So that sort of stuff is going to be something that I may delve into. So that's a big maybe. And again, it's all about pricing and budget wise. You know, do I really want to pay £60 for, you know, a game that I might try once and never play again, when I could use that £60 to maybe buy 5 or 6 PlayStation 4 games, or even more if I'm you know. And what about import games like Japanese and American games or worldwide games? I am aware that there are some options out there to buy games cheaper if they're coming from Japan or America than the PAL versions of the games. And it doesn't matter because PlayStation 4 is region 3. I have thought about it. The one that because the list that I was going through, most of them I think were American thing, but I think I had some PAL games on there as well. But because I was using the English Amazon, it was always finding English versions of the games, with the exception sometimes there might be a German or Spanish or European, you know, like a European country on there. If the game plays in English, I don't mind if I've got a German box version. I'd prefer the English box version, of course, but if it's cheaper sometimes to just buy, you know, a German version box, then it won't bother me. As long as the game is playable in English, it doesn't matter too much to me. What else do I need to think about when, you know, stuff like that? Like I said, sports games, music games, things that require peripherals. Is it going to be something that I'm going to be collecting it is a yes, of course. And again, those sort of games are the ones that I can pick up really cheap, and you know, especially from places like Game and stuff. So definitely something I'm going to be thinking about doing. And of course, I can get them a bundle of them dirt cheap. So you know, if you know anywhere that are selling these games cheap, let me know in those comments. So yeah, of course, the PlayStation 4 is going to be a pretty fun collection to go for. I hope you guys stay with me through this, and you know, of course, we'll keep the collection updated, and we'll be showing them off in videos coming through, updated videos through the coming weeks and months. And of course, when the games turn up, I'll probably show them off in my next video anyway. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like. Sorry, it's not like an overly long or interesting video. I just wanted to do something today, let you know what's been going on and stuff like that. I have been watching the Only Fools and Horses box set that I got. So I've been enjoying watching that. Yeah, that's really fun. And as always, guys, feel free to comment below. Let me know what you've been up to recently and all that good stuff. Welcome to all of the new subscribers and commenters. Nice to see you all. And as always, guys, feel free to subscribe as always and join the family. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Mixer at the Mad Kyger. I did do a stream last night of Overwatch. It was actually pretty fun, actually. I had a pretty good time playing Overwatch last night. Which is kind of rare these days because I hardly play Overwatch, and when I do, I come out feeling a lot more shit than I did going into it. But I actually enjoyed it last night, so that was a change. And as always, guys, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.